We have a new build to take a look at, announcements to cover, and, probably most important, a WoW token giveaway. Oh snap. Hey, it's Soul. It's September 29th, 2017. This is Warcraft Weekly. That's Bob. And thankfully he's back to normal. And welcome to the show. So I've been a little bit busy this week. I put out pretty much one video each day.
Yeah, it definitely looks like you're flailing like a fish out of water, Soul.
Actually, no. I've just been giving myself a whole lot of stuff to do. I mean, I like keeping busy, okay? Anyway, I wanted to celebrate because thanks to you folks, I was able to finally hit. I wanted to do this over.
No, don't do it. It's old, it's tired, and no one cares about that meme anymore. No one remembers.
I'm doing a WoW token giveaway. Thank you again for helping me get to 9,000 subscribers, over 9,000 subscribers. And for that, I'm going to give away one WoW token's worth of gold. As usual, this is for people on US realms, but hey, if there's anyone who's like willing to sponsor over on the EU or on the Asian realms and want to make that sort of contribution too, feel free. We can talk about that somewhere in the background, you know, in an alley. Dark, scary. But let's look at US realms for now. To win, it's gonna be just like it was before. All you have to do is leave a comment and let me know how your week was. Share your wins, your losses, that you've been sitting on the toilet for like half the week. Of those, one person will be chosen and the winner will be announced at next week's weekly. So now the goal, like I said a couple months ago or whatever, however long that was now, is to hit 10,000 subscribers by Blizzcon. So the goal is to get to that magical number before that date. And if I do, I'll do some sort of ridiculous giveaway. I still have like 1 million some gold lying around. I'll do something with it for all of you. So please help support me the best way you know how and help me get to 10,000 subscribers. This week's featured YouTuber is aJRedi. Although maybe it's not so much featured YouTuber, but more like featured YouTube video, because this one video that he made is freaking awesome. Oh my god. It has a very simple premise. It's just a dude running through 13 years of the world of Warcraft. From the zones, to the raids, to the dungeons, different environments, to cities, and all that stuff. The thing is, the way the camera work is done, and you know, just at least from my experience, like the time that goes into something like this is extensive. There's a lot of detail that goes into it. It's a lot of great work. I am frankly envious.
Yeah, you should be, because like 90% of your videos are crap.
That might be true, but that doesn't mean I can't celebrate some awesome videos that I've seen. As for the rest of the channel, it's kind of like, yeah, well, I don't want to say basic stuff, but it's kind of like stuff that you'll regularly see from a very small channel. And he is a very small channel, so I encourage you at the very least, take a look at that video, let them know what you think, give it an upvote and a like or whatever it is that we're supposed to do. And as always, if you find a gem of a video or a channel that you think you should share with the rest of the world because not enough people are taking a look at it, let me know in a comment below. So finally, let's do some news stuff, yeah? Earlier this week, Blizzard released the Blizzard Battle.net application. Long ass name, but at least if you look at it, if you look for it on like the Google Play Store or the App Store or whatnot, it just says Battle.net. It does what it's supposed to. It just simply has your Battle.net friend list. You can see what they're doing, what games they're playing, if they're online or offline, then of course you can message them and harass them, and it works. Basic stuff, you know, there's not too much more to it.
So it's pretty much like the WoW app, just without the whole guild chat feature?
Yep, that's right. And, well, you know, you make a good point. I mean, they should just kind of, you know, they should just kind of put that stuff together, right? You know, it'd be even better.
Oh god, again.
Now, come on, hear me out. As if they put a little bit more effort into making, like, small community features, like, I don't know, a Guild Finder 2.0.
Yes, we know you want a Guild Finder 2.0. You're gonna bug them at BlizzCon about it, yada yada yada.
Yep, that's right. I'm definitely looking forward to go and doing everything I can to finally get my question answered. So you can S my D.
You want me to spay your dog? He's a boy.
Whatever. A couple hotfixes went through this week, including one that allowed an account-wide unlock of all the Antorus world quests and invasion points. I guess this is a fair enough answer to some of the complaints from folks that are like, oh, well, you know, we want to be able to unlock all this stuff on our alts. Yeah, sure, they gave us some stuff, but I guess they didn't give us quite enough. I mean, it's a slippery slope. Blizzard clearly doesn't want to have a situation where it's just kind of a one and done thing where you just do one thing on your main and then all of a sudden you get showered with stuff on your alts.
Dude, what was that you were doing with your face?
Shut up, ew. Anyway, what do you folks on the toilet think? Do you think that this is in fact gone far enough, or do you think that there should be a lot more unlocks that are allowed account-wide? This week, Blizzard reminded us that Mists of Pandaria released 5 freaking years ago. Time flies, dude. I mean, this predates you.
No, it doesn't.
These were the days of what, like the WoW annual pass, like pandas and people bitching about the kind of culture that that they sort of represented.
Hey, I like that watered down form of racism. Good going. But
2 of my favorite things, I know, I'm just kind of like going on a nostalgia trip real quick, but 2 of my favorite things, one of them I've talked about a whole bunch of times, is the reputation system in Mists of Pandaria and how I really liked how reps worked there. I didn't care about the tabards too much. I know that's a big thing that sold on people, but for me, it was more like the stuff that unlocked when you did get to new reputation levels. The other thing, and I miss it so bad, Mists of Pandaria was like, it was like the expansion of the tank, because that's when we had the vengeance mechanic where you took more damage, or the more damage you took, the more throughput that you dealt out, which meant that you did more healing and you did more damage, of course. It takes me back to the days of like Heart of Fear, where I could just pull like everything. I would pull everything, including some raid boss in Heart of Fear, and I'd be like, all right, other tank and healers and DPS, stand back, I got this, and I'll just grab everything and that would be it. Those would be how fights, that would be progression. I'd be like, hell yeah. Number 1, baby. Ooh, and then there was in Mugashan Vaults, Will of the Emperor, easily one of my favorite tank fights of all time. That fight, at least, one part of the fight was like the GOAT of tanking mechanics, where you got to do like a certain dance, and then when you do the dance, then you do like massive damage, and man.
Hey, it's a good thing that no one can see below your belt, huh? What's unfortunate is that I can.
My bad. Moving on, I really haven't mentioned this, unfortunately, because, well, I think last week I just totally forgot, so I suck. But the Mythic Dungeon Invitational has been going on. The qualifying rounds are done, and, those were obviously not very exciting, but now we're seeing the head-to-head competitions between teams. And to be honest, they're pretty damn cool. Now, we've seen this stuff before, but I want to highlight the fact that this is a head-to-head competition. We're actually able to see people competing, racing to the end. It's interesting because we get to see this whole meta of Mythic Keystone dungeons, and along with that, all sorts of different techniques that the best of the best players use. Some of these competitions are lopsided, and some of them are literally just down to the second. So I'm going to provide links and times below, and I invite you folks to watch. The one complaint that I have, or at least my co-tank Shax pointed it out to me, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right, that kind of sucks, is that the footage here is just kind of lumped into one big old 8-hour-long video. So I'd love to see those kinds of things broken up so we can understand where we're at and just the progression of what's going on. But I think it's a lot of fun, really engaging, much more entertaining than trying to watch like the Twitter feeds of like the world first races. So take a look, you might actually like it.
Oh my god.
Blizzard released a Warcraft 2017 year in review sort of thing, starring your favorite guy, Ian Hezekostas. In this video, Ian says nothing of importance, except one thing.
It's been great watching everybody delving into Argus, fighting the Legion, and I know players are wondering what's coming next. Where can we possibly go after this climactic battle that awaits us? And can't wait to tell everybody more about it at Blizzcon, and we hope you'll all join us.
Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Don't even answer, I don't care. BlizzCon 2017 has been all but confirmed that they're going to reveal the new WoW expansion. Now, it's at like 101%. At least the way I see it. There are things to be disappointed about. A fellow from my stream pointed out to me that there will be no announcements regarding Diablo 3. So, no new expansion, no new class, no Diablo 4, and I was like, ugh. But hey, I'm going to BlizzCon mostly for Roscoe's for Warcraft related stuff.
Hey, are you gonna try and meet anyone over there, like any other fellow YouTubers or people from like the stream or the channel?
Yeah, that'd be fun. I mean, I don't know if I want to do like a whole, hey, come meet me, at this time, at this place. I don't think I want to do, I don't know, like, I don't want to show up and be like, oh, there's no one there.
No, you should do that because I definitely think that no one will show up.
See, that's what I mean. bitch. I mean, I think it'd be cool. I mean, okay, totally off the top of my head, literally off the top of my head, I think Velia is going. I think I saw that Taliesin and Avatel they're going. So if any of you folks want to like see, you know, say what's up or you know, take a quick selfie, I don't know, then cool, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a great way for you to piggyback on the fame and success of others.
Yeah, so obviously November is looking on the up and up. We got BlizzCon going on early in the month, and my prediction still stands. I'm still thinking November 14th is going to be the day that patch 7.3.2 will be released, meaning that Antorus the Burning Throne will be released November 21st, at least on US realms. You know, it's one day later for everyone else. From there, us Yanks get our Thanksgiving on later that week, and then on the 28th, the Mythic World Race begins, which us Yanks are pretty much not going to win. But I might be wrong. Who knows? Earlier in the week, or you know, I guess kind of late last week, Blizzard released a statement regarding the Netherlight Crucible. They took all the statements and concerns and reactions from the players who had critical, negative feedback about it, and they basically said, you know, I think we like everything the way that it is, and basically dismantled everyone's argument. Of course, the conversations and the arguments and the flaming are still ongoing, and they're going to keep going until one of two things happen. One is that Blizzard gives in to whatever demands that the players want. Two is that time will pass, and enough players will realize, oh, well, I guess it wasn't as bad as we thought. Or those players will have quit. Or I guess three, they'll still play on, but they'll still bitch. Now, I talked about this issue on Monday in a video, and I sort of re-described what this system means for Blizzard, that it basically equates to a system that you cannot ever fully optimize, and it's just meant to be a system that you kind of make do with what you have. And then from there, raids and encounters are balanced around this pretty wide range of possibility. You people at home in bed and on your lazy chair well, you had a lot of things to say about it. There's some really cool conversations, and you know, I don't have the time to go over like all the conversations that went then, but I'll at least give a little snippet of what you folks had to say. Alex Clayton says that the issue with Blizzard in general is this incessant need to control how their players play the game, instead of giving us the freedom to enjoy the game how we please. Gavin R says, when you explain at the end about the sort of controlled chaos, the people never wanting to have people hit their full optimization and feel done, it was a thought that crossed my mind with all the RNG in general, but I didn't really think it through like you did. It makes sense, but if they were to state it outright like you suggest, I can see a lot of negativity coming from it on the forums. So many min-maxers out there ready to throw a fit. But then, is it really any different from now anyway? Hillock says part of the problem is locking it behind concordance ranks. I raid heroics on my main, but I'm mostly a casual. I didn't even have rank 60 on my main weapon when 7.3 dropped. That means that instead of feeling done with AP farming, I have to grind out 15 or so ranks as fast as I can in order to access the Netherlight bonuses. It makes me regret every point I put into other weapons. Like I said, there were a lot of conversations that took place, lots of back and forth, and some pretty, mostly productive conversation that went on. So the question I posed for you on your side of the screen is this. Under the premise that Blizzard doesn't want everyone to obtain like the absolute best stuff all the time within a given tier, what's the better way, or how would you balance the way to go about it? Would it be something like chance, like with Titan Forging? Or is it something loosely based on choice, like the Netherlight Crucible? Now I know that with the Crucible it's kind of a weird hybrid of both, because you have to make like a tough choice between traits that are randomly chosen for you, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. Personally, I'm not a fan of just chance. I prefer choice. Chance or choice? I think I like that better.
I don't like anything, just give me God mode.
Anyway, moving on, we have a new build coming in this week, and there are two major things to look at. One is that we now have all the trinkets to test, and along with that, a whole bunch of these Titan-based trinkets. The second is that, at least from the data mining that we're looking at, there seems to be a Mythic-only phase for the final boss in Antorus. My quick reaction to that is that I like that. Now, as you know, I am not a Mythic Raider at all. Because of that, obviously, there are things that are cut off to me.
Yeah, like achievements and being good at the game, fame, being successful.
Yeah. But the point is that there are just, I'm not able to see those kinds of mythic phases. But I prefer that over not being able to see an entire boss. Mythic-only bosses like Rodan, I wasn't really quite feeling that. Like, that's lore that less people get to experience. I talked about this way back before in Nighthold when we learned that, hey, there's going to be like a Mythic-only phase, and well, I thought that was cool. As long as the overall experience is being shared by everyone regardless of the difficulty of the raid that you play. So that stuff I don't mind. The trinkets though, The trinkets are a little bit questionable though, so I'm going to try to not get fully into these, and I'm actually going to test out some of these trinkets over on a future Paladin video that I'll release either pretty soon, or I'll just wait until we get closer to the launch of the patch. Anyway, there are these special Titan-based trinkets, 6 of them in all. Tank, healer, ranged DPS, melee DPS, casters, and one that everyone can use. These trinkets have a high proc per minute. They happen to have a high proc rate at the very beginning of a fight, unlike the trinkets of today, which no longer have that sort of attribute. Now going forward, this is all speculation that's coming from the Wowhead team, so thanks to them for doing some of that testing. But according to them, when all 6 trinkets have their procs active, there is a bonus attribute that's activated. So you can see that the base trinket has like a certain attribute to it, but when all 6 trinket procs are combined, it becomes like the stage 2 Super Saiyan sort of proc. So as soon as everyone has these kinds of trinkets, that's some pretty amazing stuff can happen. You can get some amazing bursts in that short window. Here's the issue that I'm immediately seeing though, and the Wowhead team pointed it out too.
Maybe you got it from them, dumbass.
Maybe you need to shut up. So one, there's 6 trinkets. That means in a Mythic Keystone situation, you can't do this. You can't get that super awesome thing to happen. These trinkets are unique equipped. You can only have 1 at a time. So the 5 for every roll, okay, cool. We'll be holding on to those. But that 1 on the side that everyone can use, well, you kind of have to pick and choose. That 1 trinket, the Amenthul one that I'll, have somewhere up here, that one is kind of like the Unstable Arcana Crystal on crack.
Don't do drugs, kids.
But anyway, circling back, you just can't have that proc in a Mythic Keystone dungeon. Kind of a bummer. Here's the other bummer though. Since these trinkets are designed for large group content as in raids, there's going to be kind of a problem when you factor in raid sizes. These trinkets go nuts as soon as all 6 are active at the same time. The moment they are, the extra proc goes off. From there, it's not going to go off again until, once again, all 6 trinket procs are in alignment. That's going to mean, basically, the more people you have in your raid, the more uptime you're going to have on these super trinkets. So the way I see it, this poses a pretty big problem if you're in a small group. At minimum, you only have like 2 tanks, 2 healers, and your little hodgepodge of DPS. Even worse, you might have a bad balance of ranged and melee and caster DPS. So it almost feels like this sort of super trinket proc is designed for just larger raids, as in mythic ones. When you have a team of 20 and when you curate like a mythic team should curate, you're going to have a good balance of your roles. The question that I'm asking myself is whether or not it's designed for something like that, or is Blizzard going to, reiterate and redesign so that way heroic level raiders will be able to participate with this as well, or at least I should say, let me rephrase, smaller groups will be able to participate. Part of me is thinking that since, even as is, the whole idea of these trinket procs are absolute chaos. Like, you can't rely on these at all, except for the pull maybe. The proc per minute rate on these trinkets is said to be reasonably high enough that you can get, pretty good uptime. From what I'm seeing on Wowhead, it's up to 50%. If nothing else, I think this is a pretty interesting approach. I just think that having 6 factors to consider might be a bit much. I mean, it makes sense because, 6 titans and all that. But I don't know, if they limited it to like 5, maybe even 4 procs that are concurrent, that would make everything fire off. I think that would be cool. I think that would be a bit more acceptable for smaller groups. Anyway, obviously Blizzard is still reiterating on the system, but if you have taken a look, or what are your first impressions on it? And with that, we're going to wrap things up for the day. I want to thank all of you in the channel for helping me get to 9,000 subscribers. And I want to give special thanks to those who made contributions, including Diami, Rethgual, Kenneth, Ian, Bluecorn Chips, and Henry. And I want to give another thanks to Ken.
Kiss ass.
Shush. Ken's been with the channel for a while, and he's proven himself to be like this awesome cheerleader that just loves everything that we're doing. He's part of the guild now. He joined a couple of weeks ago. He's having a pretty decent time, even though he doesn't make raids very much. He only joined for a couple bosses this week, I think. Actually, Ken's kind of a bitch. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
Ken even contributed about 300,000 gold for this little guild event where we were doing that whole kind of sumo-ish kind of fight that you can do in Makari, Macaroni, McGriddle, whatever. So again, special thanks to you, Ken, for being a cool part of the team. Of course, if you want to contribute as a patron or a sponsor, that would be freaking amazing. That's the kind of stuff that earns so much appreciation from you. I mean, you're giving me your real freaking money, all to continue to help me do this because I love doing what I'm doing and I don't want to stop. That's not like the end-all be-all of how to support the channel. Like I always say, support me the best way that you know how. Like and sub, share the videos that you like. Be a part of the conversation. Share your awesome story that I can share back at you. Tell me how your week was. I mean, you might get a WoW token for it. I really want to be one of those positive beacons that help define this community. Most of that is going to be on me to execute, but I still need your help. Anyway, thank you for letting me be a part of your day today. Next week, I hope to give you some more cool things to celebrate the World of Warcraft. So I'm out, and you all have a good one. Stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.